Hey everyone, Mitch coming in for the Command Core studio. Welcome to the show. Today's episode comes to you courtesy of my incredible patrons. Once a month they vote on what commander they want to see in an upcoming episode, and that commander for today is Aloy, Savior of Meridian, a 3/5 Human Warrior, Vigilance, and Rage for 5 mana in Simic. It has, whenever one or more artifact creatures you control attack, discover X for X Grace power among them. And again, discovery means exile cards to the top of your library until exile a non-land card with mana value or less, cast without paying its mana cost, or put in your hand, but the rest of your library in random order, kind of like a cascade, essentially, that you have the option to hand it instead. This is an amazing commander, one that says, hey, you know what we're going to be doing? We're going to be getting out artifact creatures and swinging. Oh, and by the way, those artifact creatures are going to be absolutely massive, helping us get out even more massive artifact creatures and other things as well. It's such a fun commander, such a unique commander, and one that goes in an interesting direction. Let's jump into it and the tactics right after I remind you that there's a card list link, a deck list link in the description below for this one. First up, let's talk about some creatures with some massive power, some artifact creatures, including Emissary Escort. It's going to get +X+0, X Grace value among other artifacts we control, which of course can be quite large. And again, the cost of this one is just 2 mana, so get it down, swing, and essentially, well, cheat something else out massive with that Discover trigger. Traxos, Scourge of Krug, cost 4 is a 7/7 Trampler. Enters tap, doesn't untap, you're going to tap step, but if you cast a Historic spell, which includes artifacts, untap it. So yeah, you can untap this a ton, swing with it a lot, and discover a lot too. Rootwire Amalgam is a 5/5 for 5, but it does have, hey, pay 5 mana, sacrifice it, make an XX Golem, where X is 3 times its power, gains haste on upturn, activate a sorcery, basically a 15/15 in the waiting, and you're going to be discovering a ton with that and hitting super hard. Beast of Burden, I love this card. 6 mana for, well, basically a creature that is the total of all the creatures on the board. Power does equal the number of creatures in play. So yeah, basically, thank you opponents, I appreciate that for me paying 6 mana for a 20/20. Now let me attack. Diamond Weapon, an 8/8 for 9 mana, but it costs 1 less cast for each permanent card in your graveyard, which again can be quite a bit. It's got reach and says prevent all combat damage to be dealt to it. So this can be a really difficult thing to take out. And yeah, you can keep swinging freely with it. Hulking Metamorph, a 7/7 that is basically a clone. Enter the battlefield as a copy of an artifact creature you control, except it's an artifact creature, and power toughness are equal to this one. So yeah, a 9/9 can be massive. Inkwell Leviathan, a 7/11 with Trample, Iron Walk, and Shrouds. This can be really difficult to deal with, and really, really fun to swing at opponents who have islands, too. Phyrexian Triniform, a 9/9 for 9. When it dies, you make 3 3/3s, which, of course, equals 9 in total, right? It's also got Encore, so you can get it right back out of your graveyard and do that again. Triplicate Titan, a 9/9 Golem for 9 mana. Flying Vigilance, Trample. Dies, you make 3 golems. Basically, it splits out into 3 different ones. One that has flying, one that has vigilance, one has trample. There you go. Ancient Stone Idol. 12/12 for 10 mana, but you're never going to pay that. It's got flash, costs 1 less cast for each attacking creature, and it's got trample. By the way, when this dies, you make a 6/12. So yeah, we've got a lot of creatures with a lot of power, and this one especially can be super cheap for us. Next up, let's talk about some tough stuff, some creatures that are really difficult for our opponents to deal with. We've got Weathered Sentinels, a 2/5 wall, with Defender, Vigilance, Reach, and Trample, all the keywords. It's a 3-cost creature. This creature can attack players who attacked you during their last turn as though it didn't have Defender. Whenever it attacks, it gets +3/+3 and indestructible until end of turn. So again, it's a great deterrent for our opponents to go, hey, don't come at me, or this is coming at you. Okay, most likely. It's also going to be indestructible and swinging out. Darksteel Juggernaut, speaking of indestructible and massive, power toughness each equal to the number of artifacts you control. Attacks each combat of Fable. That's great for us. We love attacking. But yeah, again, a great way to essentially ensure that we keep something on the board and attack, and to keep getting that trigger again and again and again and hitting super hard. Kappa Cannoneer. 4/4 Turtle Warrior with Improvise, so yeah, we can actually have our artifacts help cast it, which is lovely. It's got Ward 4, which is basically hexproof. Whenever it or another artifact enters, you get a counter on it, and it's unblockable. So this is going to be a massive creature that is unblockable, that is really hard for our opponents to deal with. And then Soul of New Phyrexia, a 6/6 with Trample that we can pay 5 and make all of our permanents indestructible, or if it's in our graveyard, pay 5 eggs out from our graveyard and make everything indestructible. A great way to protect our entire team. Next up, let's talk about ways to add power, thus adding discoverability. Tifa's Limit Break is an instant for a single green mana. It's got tiered, though. We can choose an extra 0. Target creature gets +2/+2 until end of turn. Yes, please. An extra 2. Double target creature's power and toughness until end of turn. Or an extra 7. Triple target creature's power and toughness until end of turn. Yeah, that is absolutely insane. Tripling. Oh my goodness. A great way to discover basically our entire deck and probably take someone out. Exponential growth, speaking of that. Until I've turned double target creatures power X times, such a fun thing to dump mana into, and yeah, we're in green, we can do that. Steel Overseer, we can tap it and get a counter on each artifact creature we control. Just keep growing our army and growing that discoverability. Choose your weapon. Double target creatures power and dump to turn out of nowhere, or 5 damage to a flyer. So yeah, take out a flyer or just make someone just gone and also discover a ton. Master of Ethereum. Power dust each of the artifacts you control. That's going to be a lot of power. And also we can pump all of our artifact creatures too by +1/+1. Virtus Gearhulk, a 4/4 trampler for 5 mana. Enters give 4 counters to, well, whatever you want to give them to. But yeah, you can even get to this, and this is just an 8/8 for 5 mana. That's a lovely card. Or yeah, give that to something else and get even more power on it. Moving on, big spells. Yeah, again, discovering a ton. We can just hit some massive spells to give us even more massive things. Imanatu's Augury is so much fun. A sorcery for 8 mana. Exile the top 8 cards of your library. Put a land from among them on the battlefield until end of turn. For each non-land card type, cast 1 for free. Yeah, so much value to be had with this. Again, basically discover, hit this and go, oh yeah, playing all these massive things, you're welcome. One with the Multiverse, so much fun. 8 mana enchantment. If you look at the top card of your library anytime, play lands, cast spells from the top of your library. Great to basically have a secondary hand on top of your library. On top of that, though, once during each of your turns, play something for free from your hand or top of your library. Who doesn't love that? Sandworm Convergence, another 8 mana enchantment. Creatures with flying can't attack you or planeswalkers you control. Just basically protect yourself completely. Sorry, Dragon deck out there, you're not coming at me. Get of your end step, you make a 5/5 worm. So yeah, being able to keep growing an army and going while protecting yourself. What's not to love? Thunderous Debut, though, so much fun. Sorcery for 8 mana, bargain. Sacrifice an artifact, enchantment, or token as you cast it. Worth it to do that. Look at the top 20 cards of your library. 2 creature cards from among them, put them right onto the battlefield if you bargain it. And you'll want to bargain it because that is so much fun and so much value to be had with these giant creatures in this deck. Speaking of value, next up we've got Lumbering World Wagon, a Star 4 vehicle for 3 mana in green. Power is equal to the number of lands you control. Oh, and by the way, hey, when it enters or attacks, you can go get a basic land upon the battlefield, tap, then shuffle. This keeps helping you grow your mana base more and more, all while growing its power too. It's got crew 4, such a fun card. Sledge Class Siege Ship, a 4/5, once you actually, get it stationed. Spacecraft for 3 mana, it's got flying, and whenever it attacks you, we put a creature card from your hand right onto the battlefield. So yeah, just cheat out creatures here, there, and everywhere. My goodness, the giant threats we can cheat out super early with this. Now let's move on to some card advantage. First up, Garrick's Uprising. Enchantment for 3. Enters if you control a creature power 4 or greater. We're going to. Draw a card. Oh, by the way, our creatures have trampled. Great way to get damage through. Oh, and by the way, whenever creature control a power 4 or greater enters, draw a card. Yeah, this is massive at getting damage through and also drawing us an insane amount of cards. Speaking of which, Biden of Thassa. Whenever our creatures deal combat damage to a player, draw a card. It's going to be happening a lot with this deck. We're going to be very aggressive. Oh, and by the way, we can leave players open. Pay 2, tap. Creature pose control attack this combat if able. Yeah, being able to go, hey, you know what you're doing? You are attacking. Oh, and by the way, good luck attacking me because I've got a massive army of massive creatures. They might just send themselves elsewhere. And by the way, they're leaving themselves wide open. Monstrous Vortex, enchantment for 4 mana. Whenever you cast a creature spell of power 5 or greater, discover X for X that spell's mana value. Again, this is yet another way to just discover more and more amazing things out of our deck. One with the Machine. Draw cards with the highest mana value among artifacts you control. Yeah, we've got quite a few great ones. We're going to be getting a lot out of this. Rush of Knowledge, very similar, except for the number, the actual permanents essentially kind of, grow with this, when it's choosing them basically. It's like, hey, you know what? Anything. Doesn't have to be an artifact. It can be anything. Absolutely anything. The Indomitable. 6/6 for crew 3, trample. 4 mana in blue. Whenever a creature control deals combat to player, draw a card. So yeah, we've got yet another one of those effects, which is amazing. Oh, and by the way, sure, you can get from your graveyard if you've got 3 or more tap pirates vehicles. Just ignore that. I mean, you might have, enough vehicles, but that's okay. Thought Spy Network. Enchantment for 4 mana in blue. Begin of your upkeep, control an artifact. You make a 1/1 Thought flying. Lovely. Oh, by the way, hey, whenever one of our artifact creatures control deal combat to player, draw a card. Yet another way to draw even more cards. You're getting this right now. We're getting a lot of these. Return of the Wild Speaker. Out of nowhere. Fire. Choose one. Instant speed for 5 mana. Draw cards equal the greatest power among non-human creature you control. We have plenty of those. Oh, and by the way, non-human creature control get +3/+3 until end of turn. Absolutely incredible. Absolutely amazing. Pick one or the other, draw a ton, or finish your opponents off out of nowhere. Maelstrom Colossus is a 7/7 golem for 8 mana. It's got Cascade, so yeah. Not only are we getting some, discoverability out of this most likely, but we're also getting Cascading too. So much value to be had. Let's move on to some removal, though. First up, Collective Resistance. An instant for 2 mana in green. It's got Escalate, so pay, an extra 1 mana if you want to. Choose one or more. Destroy an artifact, destroy an enchantment, or target creature gains Hexproof and indestructible until end of turn. An amazing way to destroy things, an amazing way to protect things. Such an amazing card. Beast Within, 3 mana, get rid of anything, and then its controller makes a 3/3. Worth the trade every time. Bridgeworks Battle. We can actually make one of our creatures get +2/+2 and fight a creature we don't control. Yeah, we have the biggest creatures. We'll take out anything with this. Other side, though, hey, it's a land if you need it. And again, it can come and play untapped for 3 life. Raver's Rebuke, 6 mana. Bounce someone's entire board. Just completely get rid of it. Goodbye, board. All non-land permanents get bounced. Such an amazing card. Steel Hellkite, 5/5 dragon with flying for 6 mana. It's got fire breathing for 2 mana, basically. Pay extra each non-land permanent mana value X whose controller was dealt combat damage by this creature this turn. Activating once each turn. A great repeatable board wipe for us. Omega Heartless Evolution, an 8/8 robot for 7 mana in Simic. Enters for each opponent, tap to 1 target non-land permanent that player controls. Put X on counters each of those permanents. You gain X life X the number of non-basic lands you control. This can really shut things down for quite a while. Rolling Hamsphere, a 4/4 vehicle. Gets +1 for each other hamster you control. Each hamster, I should say. When it attacks, you create 3/1/1 hamsters. It deals X damage to any target X number of hamsters you control. It's such a great way to keep building our board while getting rid of things as well. Speaking of which, Extinguisher Battleship. Enters, destroy target non-creature permanent, deals 4 damage to each creature. Again, our creature's going to be massive enough to survive this. Our opponents will not. It's going to be a 10/10 flying trample creature as well, which is absolutely incredible for us. Azorius Predation, sorcery for 8 mana actually. It's well worth it, no matter what you're paying for it. For each creature opponents control, create a 4/4 green Phyrexian Beast creature token. Each of those tokens fights a different one of those creatures. Basically, just throw down every single creature and essentially just fight them. And what you're going to be doing is keeping basically everything that took out small creatures, medium-sized creatures, and then, yeah, sure, the big creatures survive, but now they're damaged and you're going to be swinging through anyways. Goodbye, opponents. When it comes to ramp, we've got a ton because we've got a lot of massive things in this deck and also a lot of massive card draw. So we're going to be drawing a lot, playing a lot, and getting so much value. First up, there's Wayfarer's Bauble. Pay 2-tap sacrifice, get a basic land into play tapped. Then we've got, Steve, Sakura Tribe Elder. I'm so sorry, Steve, but we've got to take you out. We're going to sacrifice you and go get that basic land. Ramp and Growth, the exact same thing, what ramp is named after. Edge of Autumn, cost 2. Basically exact same thing as Rampant Growth, but basically you need 4 fewer lands, and if not, hey, cycle it away by sacrificing a land, a great card late in the game as well. Farseek, go get that island and put it into play tapped. Then we've got Cultivate, go get 2 basics, 1 goes in tapped, 1 goes into our hand. Harrow, sacrifice 1 land, get 2 basics in play untapped. Search for Tomorrow, an amazing turn 1 play, suspend 2 for a single green mana, basic into play untapped. Circuitous Route, an amazing card. Go get, 2 basic lands, essentially, into play tapped. Or gates, but we're going to be getting basic. So that's what we have. Village Vegetation, the exact same thing. Encroaching Dragon Sword, the exact same thing. Except when a dragon enters, we can bounce it back to our hand. Invasion of Zendikar, exact same thing. 2 basics going to play tapped. But also, hey, if we take this out, which we will, it's a 4/4 Vigilance and Haste. It can tap for 1 mana of any color. Migration Path, exact same thing as Explosive Vegetation. You're seeing a pattern here, but we can cycle it away. Reach the Horizon, exact same thing. Westwind Surge, exact same thing, but we can also kick it for an additional 4 mana, and it gives 2 counters to all of our creatures. It can be a great finisher for us as well. Viewpoint Synchronization, it's got free running for just 3 mana for our commander hit. That's great. Search life for up to 3 basic land cards, reveal them, put 2 on the battlefield tapped and the other in your hand. This is renewal 6 mana, get 3 basics into play tapped, you gain 7 life. Burn Confluence, basically again, you can choose that if you want to. That third mode right there, go get basics. Or, hey, get 2 counters on a creature, or return target permanent card from your grave to your hand. Any of those modes, basically, 3 times, or, split, whatever you need to do. Burnt Mastery. This one actually can pay for 4 mana if you're okay with that. Search the library to 4 basic land cards and reveal them. If you pay the 4 mana, an opponent gets 1 into play tapped, good for them. 2 on the battlefield tapped under your control, and then 1 into your hand, then shuffle. Real quick, when it comes to great lands, first up, Rogue's Passage. Taps for colors, pay 4 tap, make a creature unblockable. Yeah, with all these heavy hitters that we have, so many great finishers for us now can get through with this. Mosswort Bridge, another great one. Enters the battlefield, tap, look at the top 4 cards of your library. One goes face down, and all of a sudden, hey, once you've got power 10 or greater on the battlefield out of all your creatures, which, yeah, you can do that easily with just one creature many times. Pay a single green mana, tap this, and all of a sudden, play that for free. So much value to be had. And with that, this episode is coming to a close. Comment below with your thoughts on it. And of course, as always, thanks again and have a good one. This show and episodes like this one are possible thanks to viewers like you. If you're looking for an easy way to help support this show, make sure that you like, share, and subscribe. Also, hit that bell notification icon so you don't miss any new episodes. You can also go check out our playmats and other merchandise at thecommandersquarters.com. Another easy way to support this show is with our TCG player affiliate links. So whether you're buying a deck or individual cards, you can use this general link right here or one in the description. And the final way that you can support this show is by supporting us directly by becoming a patron. There are many benefits to being a patron, and I truly couldn't do this without all of their support.